not that far away. Hop back on the saddle soon. You saw this soldier. The dark can consume your brain. All we ever wanted was a little air to breathe, but all we got are ashes of our old memories. They can try to take me down, but they can't take me to my knees. No, you'll never take me. Not my choice, but it's my blood to bleed. I'm failed. Heed the words I say to you before I will fade away. I need to know what you can do. Show them the only way. All we ever wanted was a little air to breathe, but all we got are ashes of our old memories. They can try to take me down, but they can't take me to my knees. No, you'll never take me. Not my choice, but it's my blood to bleed. I'm
Hello and welcome to we have a friendly match this afternoon, Sunday afternoon here, or evening time if you're in Europe. 82 AD versus Fins Let Loose. We're going to be watching them on Foy Night here, and I'm going to bring up that map. We're going to talk about it a little bit before we jump into the server. But before I do that, I'm going to introduce my co-casters here for the day. Before I do that, though, actually, I need to add. There we go. I need to add their audio track onto this map scene here. So, with me today, I have three very special guests. Um, the first one is it's Foy, so I had to bring in another tanker. He is newly birthed into the seasonal final with his team WTH, the Wolves of War. Honey Badger, how you doing?
Hey, Wix, thanks for having me on, buddy.
With us, we try to not make it all about the tanks. We also have to. It's Foy, so we also have to make it about dying to artillery. And when I think of dying to artillery, there's nobody that I think of more than OG Panda. Panda, how you doing?
Good. Ready to be here for all of my fellow meat grinders. Really give the hard sideline reporting here as we get through this match.
And also joining us today, for the first time, I believe. I don't know that I've had you on a stream before. The Rocket Master, because this is this not necessarily with rockets. You do it with tanks on Foy, but he is the rocket snipe maestro. So we're gonna see some truck snipes, I believe, today, and he is the master of that. So we got him here too. Scooty Dirt, how you doing?
Doing great, thank you, Wix. As an infantry player, it's always exciting to be able to watch other people play Foy and not have to suffer through it yourself. So excited to see the game.
Yeah, so as you guys see on the screen, I pull up the tac map of Foy. We'll jump into the server a little bit too. But I want to talk a little bit about it because I haven't streamed a match on Foy before, and I'm kind of excited to do it here. And I want to talk about some of these points because uh, I think it. I think there's a couple that are very interesting, or all of them are very interesting, honestly. Dugout obviously being way on the Axis side with the forest all over the Ally side is good. Southern Edge with all the open ground around it uh, also makes for kind of interesting gameplay. And then Dugout Barn on that right edge, also kind of on the Axis side, and tons of buildings and stuff to hide in the open fields around it. So we're kind of looking at the map here. Uh, Starting with Panda, kind of. Let's just go left to right. I mean, West Bend on the left side. What do you think about West Bend as a point? What do you think some of the important parts of that capture point are?
Yeah, West Bend. It's very favored towards Axis side here as we get in. Forest. You're basically going to be looking at lanes this whole map. I'd be very curious to see how wide these teams get. What areas that they show that they want to control. We'll kind of get an idea of that based on how many people that they amass in certain little pockets. You've basically got 4 or 5 main roads here across the map. West Bend itself, you're going to see a lot of lateral movement. Just people trying to out meat grind each other. As you're talking about these truck snipes, you're going to see a lot of AT guns. I'll be curious if either of these teams build AT guns for specific snipes on the different points. There's endless amount of different lanes that they can choose, angles that they can take. I feel like every team kind of has a one or two that they think works the most. So, yeah, West Bend's going to be a very, very interesting point. Obviously, very favored to one side to start. But this is a kind of map that if you get pushed out, it's very hard to get back in. So both teams will be putting a lot of people and a lot of effort into trying to out meat grind each other here to start.
So I am bringing us into the server now as I just kind of set up my overlay here. So we are looking in the server now on stream, and this is West Bend. That's what we were just looking at. I figure I wanted to have the map handy just in case Finns were preparing anything or were kind of doing their dry runs just to not show that, but they're just all sitting on the Axis side, the Ally side, just messing around. So we'll look at the live model here. Yeah, this is Westbed. I mean, it's defined by the open fields to the north on the Axis side, which is left here, and then that forest on the right. And Panda was talking a lot about the different approaches and different options there. Something else that kind of comes into play because it is in or near the sector here is this group of buildings here to the east that's usually called cluster. And then if we move over a little bit more to the center here, I'm going to ask Honey Badger to talk a little bit about Southern Edge.
To
This
be
building
honest,
and trench system.
if it's Southern Edge and I am an Axis tanker, I am licking my chops here. Not a single truck will make it to this hard point if they're doing it. But if they do get to this hard point, not much for anybody to kind of get in cover with. You got those couple trenches. It's really going to kind of depend on the tanks getting there and that first opening medium duel and who can allow their tanks to get further forward into the soft cap. But just like all the other points here, Axis is favored to cap this. So we can let's see if allies have any tricks up their sleeves to get their trucks and their SLs onto the point.
Yeah, that's certainly something we'll be watching for in the opening when we start to get. It looks like we're getting 82 AD in here now, so we should be just a couple minutes away from the start here. Yeah, it's going to be something we're going to look for in the opening. Is what's going to happen with these allied trucks because they just are so many different ways that you can take them out before they get to the key places. So we'll be keeping track of that. The last point I've kind of is dugout barn right here. Obviously, kind of dominated by the big barn right on the point that can be a shelter for artillery for spawns if you want, repair stations, whatever you need, and there's some trenches and some other buildings around it. And then, like everything else on Foy, hey, look, it's open fields in basically every direction. So, Scooty, dugout barn, what do you think?
Well, like everyone else is saying, all these points are axis sided for various reasons. You can see dugout barn, the hard cap is completely on the axis side, the 5 line. The Foy is it's kind of a map of lanes, right? So allies, maybe in comparison to some of the other points on dugout barn, have at least a little bit of room to maneuver pushing into the front door. See on the south side, near the kind of purple road, there's that broken building that allies will be using to try to get in. There's the building to the side of the road. You got the eastern map edge kind of train tracks lane that's usually pretty difficult for allies to use to get in. So if allies trucks can get up to the hard cap and push in, they'll have a shot. But if Finn's let loose his prep those truck snipes, it's gonna make that allied opening very difficult. But post cap, Foy is the kind of map where it's possible to kind of stalemate once things have stabilized after the cap. But if you lose any of that ground, it's very difficult to take it back. So, if allies do manage to push Axis back north, it's going to be a lot of open fields, a lot of just kind of getting shredded by tanks and MG and artillery as you wait and push in. So a lot of it's going to just depend on who's more prepped for the opening, how many trucks get in, and who kind of stabilizes into more useful kind of terrain after the opening.
Yeah, I think openings are obviously. I mean, on any map for sure, but I think on Foy, the openings are going to be even more important, just because, like we've mentioned, the truck snipes that we expect that are going to come in, as well as just the terrain and the way that works. Like we've constantly been mentioning, it's going to be open field in a lot of different directions. if you're off hard cap, because the hard cap's always centered on some kind of cover, some kind of building or something. And then, I mean, you can just imagine, right? This is the Axis side. We're looking control this, compound around the big warehouse there, or big barn. This is like the closest bit of cover, right? The broken houses, the trench, and then you're just going to be moving up the road. And you can imagine in a meta where there's going to be one arty gun going at all times, no matter where the arty gun is going to be shooting. It's going to be right on this road almost the whole game. And I mean, the four of us personally saw that in a match we played together a couple seasonals ago now, where City had like 450 kills on artillery just shooting at this road. So Foy's kind of an interesting map. I think if you're tanking, you probably enjoy it, but if you're not tanking or artillery, you're probably just going to die a lot.
MG.
Yeah, I mean, machine guns for sure. I mean, we'll probably see it today. People on these put an OP next to the hay bale, get an MG up there on top of any of the buildings. I mean, the map has elevation change if you kind of get down to it. There's some small hills, but a lot of really, really long angles.
Foy is laid out kind of like these little, this scattering of islands. There's like these little inhabitable areas surrounded by a bunch of no man's land, and then these narrow lanes that both teams are going to be using to try to get from one island to the next.
Oh, and Wix, if you want to drop your map, you will see we have a.
Yep, I see that, and I'm just testing that Badger Cam is working. So we're going to have side-by-sides for the map specifically, but, hey, if we catch both sides of a tank battle, maybe we'll check both. You gotta ask them who to join if you haven't already, because okay, cool. So yeah.
A lot of places to put an OP for anybody who plays squad lead as infantry on this map. It's very understood for certain points where you're going to put your outpost. So guys like Scooty who are rocket gods, will probably already have a few spots picked out that they will probe with some rockets to see if they can get an outpost or two. There's just not any cover on the majority of the places on this map.
The tanks will also be ready to splash those if they've been prepping. The West Bend.
This is probably the best point layout for allies to get their trucks onto the point.
Yeah, the hard cap is so axis-sided, but allies still have quite a bit of room to maneuver in that southern forest at the beginning.
I'm sorry, I was stream was playing in the background because the stream started off delay right as we flipped.
So I would imagine here that if you're allies, you're going to be focused a lot on the main town of Foy. There's going to be a huge battle there, kind of around that main town area, where you're trying to be able to get side shots onto the point.
Yeah, we see a very left-heavy map here. Almost every point except the very last point on the Axis side. So Road to Bastogne, N30, West Bend, Cobru, all left points straight down, and then Cobru approach. So this is going to be kind of interesting to see how this kind of unfolds, because sure, Axis are going to be favored to get in that black circle first, right? Because it's so close to them. But if they ever lose that, the prospects for recap are not good. I mean, if we fly back over it, where we were looking earlier before the flip, it's just these open fields on their side, and the areas where they can build blue garrisons just are not going to be great for them. So we'll see. They should get. We should see a 82 AD cap in it. We should, I assume, see some trucks go down, but. Sorry, we should see Finns capping. I'm sorry, Finns are Axis. And we should see, you know, potentially some 82 AD trucks going down if Finns are doing it right. But, yeah, you know, the forest gives a lot of cover for the Allies to recap, so it's kind of should be an interesting point.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it really the forest limits of snipes. You know, it's gonna get 82 AD a chance to see actually get their trucks to the point. Sorry, I'm just uh, changing sound settings.
This is really a 2-lane point. So who can control the kind of war of attrition in the forest? And his allies going to be able to get up that eastern road and gain control of any of those buildings that Axis should have off the opening in D5.
HB, does it look like they're lining up any truck snipes for you? Your side?
No, it does not. I don't see the Puma going to the normal Puma spot.
I see a Greyhound taking a shot from Wajak on my side, but I don't know if he's hitting anything.
Nope, I'm not seeing anything land on my side. I'm seeing some short shots here on the far. Ooh, rockets coming in on the far west side. Oh,
Ooh, we
one
did.
truck did get a hit.
Yep, we saw that. It looks like all the SLs were knocked
Yep.
out of that one truck, but the other trucks looks like they've made it.
He only
pretty
got one
successfully.
kill with that, by the way.
Oh, was it just
Oh, really?
one?
Just one kill. Yep.
So here we go. We're starting to see the people get out of the trucks.
Mhm.
Blast is right up there, hiding behind. He drove the truck up, jumped out just in time. See if
Yeah,
he
if
can,
he's got a satchel there, you know, he throws a satchel down there. Nope, but K98 goes down.
Interesting that allies have chosen not to send anyone to that eastern road.
Yeah, cluster is completely uncontested for Axis so far. I see one Lux here right on the kind of the crossroads by the main house here. The Panzer IV's this open field right on map edge, and another Lux is coming from behind. The Allied tanks, I imagine, well, we can look at them. They're in the woods here. I see one Stewart. Oh, see the medium.
The medium should be straight
mid-map.
south of. Yeah.
The two Greyhounds over here at the one house, and then the medium is sitting. Not sure.
Axis already is off to a strong start here with 11 kills already.
So this is going to be where, right here, this is going to be where the bulk of the fighting that we're going to see is, you know, right in these woods, pushing towards the point. We see the cap goes in favor of Finns.
Mm-hmm.
How did they do on the OP reset?
Doesn't look like anything down yet. Do you want to go map side by side?
All right.
So still don't see any OPs real down in the red zone. But oops, let me zoom out. So we do see the Gary network is pretty robust on this side. Medium tank middle, Stewart pushing mid, and another Stewart in the woods really got on the Axis side.
Constant flares on the south side of West Bend. They know exactly what's there.
I kind of want to go back over here and look at what 82nd has going on here, because they have kind of a armor battery of sorts here. They got two AT guns, they have two Greyhounds, and now the Sherman has joined them all over by this house. And it looks like they're just punishing the woods around that house on West Bend. It's kind of interesting to see the medium middle. Doesn't seem to be interested in going after the Panzer IV. A lot of times the alternative spot, you'd see him in these woods hiding behind this log pile or one of these buildings, but they're just kind of going for just lobbing HE all over those trees.
Yeah, it seems like most of these guys are dying not really to engagements more than just to tanks and arty right now. Pretty much everybody in the top 5 of the kill board right now is in a tank or is on arty.
Yeah, and you can kind of see that the medium Sherman is trying to take shots on the P4, but the hay bale isn't rendering in for him, so he's just wasting his ammo on the hay bale. Good positioning by this P4 crew.
Yeah, I wonder. I'd be curious to know what information they have on what's by that house, because there's so many shots coming from it. AT guns, Greyhounds, mediums, a medium tank, and I wonder if they have any idea what's actually going on there. The medium is moving to try to get it, but I think he's gonna hit the A-ball still. If you kind of see him out in the distance there.
Ooh, he
he
does
did
get
hit
a
it.
side shot in. P4 quick to reverse.
Was reverse safe?
Nope, goes forward back into the gun site, and P4 goes down, and
Shot
all
gun
this.
in that distance is not a bad look.
The Luxes are still alive on the point. One's a 3-man, the other one's a 2-man. Still just grinding away at this front push by 8280. And it looks like 82 is gaining ground here.
Yeah, if your Finn's let loose right now, you cannot be content to just keep your OPs in the hard cap and not push out. They're trying to, but they're getting pushed back to hard cap. As soon as like a satchel gets in there, suddenly some spawns gets taken out and things get real sketchy quickly.
Well, this is what I call the rubber band effect, right? You're going to see a team that's going to get a little bit of a push, a little bit of headway, and then they'll be wiped. Like right here, now we've got a pretty big gap between them. So you'll keep seeing wave after wave, this rubber band of forward and back and forward and back. It's not until you see a couple guys kind of break into the line, start burning a couple outposts, that's when something's really going to happen. Right now, where you're just kind of seeing them go back and forth, is just more of that meat grind mentality. You know, some of these guys might get to that house now, but they won't get back to it for another 5 minutes. So we'll kind of see how it plays out. But the P4 going down is huge. I mean, anytime you can take some of the tank power down, you allow your infantry to actually, perform.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit about the medium positioning, and it worked out. They got the Panzer IV. I'm sure they've gotten some infantry. It looks like he's moving up now, but kind of what I'd be thinking if I'm that medium, that Panzer IV goes down, is you got a limited window here to just drive into this point. You could quickly probably kill these 2 Luxes, and maybe try to overrun the point just with with your tank power while their medium's down before their heavy gets up. But the medium's so far away, I mean, you can see him out there in the field. I think he's been tracked.
He's been tracked and then side shotted. He's eating like 4 rockets right now.
And so he was so far away, got the Panzer IV kill, and that's good, but not really able to then project power onto the
Hop
point.
it out. He's gonna try to get the tracks up back up. Hops back in. Rocket hits a tree.
I'm surprised there's no AT gun coverage kind of across this field. You said they had some built, and this medium is just driving for free.
Yeah, looks like the medium did get 1 or 2 of those AT guns.
Pull in a little bit because 8280 has made it to kind of the first building as part of the West Bend compound here, and it looks like, wow, they have captured that whole eastern side of the street now. It looks like they've completely wiped out Finns on that side, so they need a reset badly.
Yeah, I would be feeling very uncomfortable on the hard cap right now for Finn's let loose.
Where's the Finns Gary by West Bend?
It is direct east side of the circle.
East.
So-
Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
That's
So
kind of,
that's
risky. I think they're responding in force now, and they've kind of regained a foothold on that side of the road. Whatever happened to the Sherman? Make it?
he did not. He was crossing. You were talking about AT guns. Finns did get another AT gun up, and the Tiger was shooting at it. I'm not sure which one took him down, but he did go down just when he got into the cover of the forest. First Tiger is on its way up. Where's our
See
first
him out there.
76?
First 76 is at that house, at the armor battery house. I don't know what to call it here, but he moved up to where the Greyhounds were, where the medium was. We see a bombing run coming in as I'm flying away, but he has moved into this house. It seems to be a spot that they're going to kind of use as a hub for their armor. There's still 2 Greyhounds here, still 2 AT guns. So they like the view from that house, it seems. Tiger's
'cause if you-
likely to stage behind somewhere around this broken house you see in the middle of the screen where Cannon is with his MG, I imagine. But
AT
they're-
gun is already shooting at that broken house. I don't know if he's trying to shoot the AT gun or the MG player.
there is a possible engagement from that house, the Allies armor hub, to this house for Axis. I think he's occluding right now, but I think there is a... we could see a fight there.
Yep.
So one of the AT guns
The
goes down, looks like.
Tiger takes down one of the AT guns.
Kind of back to our standard view here. I think this really... I mean, if I just turn this a little bit here, I get even the Tiger in it. This really captures, you know, the entirety of the front line here. You see the West Bend Forest where Finns have, you know, pushed back 82 AD. That's going to be meat grind area number 1, and then at the top of the screen is cluster, which is firmly in Finn's hands. That's kind of meat grind number 2 over there.
Does either team have any long flanks going on right now?
Yeah, we can do another double map real quick if we want. We do see there's a spotter for 82nd in Cobra Factory, and I do see a truck with a squad leader being driven all the way over in G4. So it looks like, and there's another spotter back at Cobra Approach. So it looks like they are setting up for something. I want to get out of the map actually, because I think there's an air. Oh, that's a supply drop. Never mind. Go back to the maps. What do you... anything from Finn's? Anybody going wide over there?
AD, like their back caps, they have spotters both back points.
Yeah, I noticed that. There was one on each point. I'm not sure if that's really going to have any... I don't know if they're just explicitly looking for a back cap, but, I mean, if you don't take out the garrisons or anything, it's not really going to make much of a difference.
You got no flare coverage.
Finn's doing a really good job keeping a lot of MGs up, because if you fly around, you constantly hear the MG42s going. Really good job by them, really controlling a lot of this open field.
Looks like Finns have made some progress in the forest, but have lost some ground maybe on the cluster area on the east.
Yeah, we can take a look at cluster too. A lot of people playing over here, fighting hard as well. But yeah, we're starting to see some blue make it into cluster for the first time. So we cut up the other edge here.
Yeah, if you're Fens, you cannot lose cluster.
I like that Finns is pushing through that forest now and starting to root out some of these spawns that 82 AD had closer to the hard cap.
Yeah, you gotta fight back, right? You can't just sit there and defend the strong point. You gotta always be moving back.
Yeah, that's the danger of getting too complacent in the hard cap.
We do have heavy tanks trading shots. 82 ADs 76 get a side shot that not only pens the side of the tank but also kills the rep station. Quicks, if
Which
you want
tank
to
are you
fly
looking
over,
at?
I'm looking at my Tiger. Why don't you fly over to the armor compound from 82 AD? Never mind. Passive. So if you fly over the forest a little bit, we'll see the second 76 coming up from the, the east, the westmost HQ. That's kind of more priority than going out east, in my opinion. What do you think, Wix?
Well, I mean, I think it's they're making deliberate choices, right? There's good spots to sit in the forest where you can shoot infantry, but they seem to be content here to.
Ooh, as we say that, sorry to interrupt. We have 2 shots into the turret of the Tiger from an AT gun. It looks like on the west side map edge. Third turret shot. That could have been Hull.
Nork pick and Luca on the gun. Wow. Tiger goes down to the AT gun right as it looks like blasts off. Rocket into the front of the AT gun and killed the 2 operators off of it.
Great rocket.
It was a great rocket, just unfortunately 2 seconds later than the Tiger needed it.
And if you fly over West Bend, you'll see 82 getting another push into the hard cap of West Bend. And the garrison is still on the eastmost circle, so the garrison for the Finns is in this forest or right near it.
Probably no surprise here, but the Axis AT already is on track for a 400 kill game right now.
A bombing run from 82 AD. Let's see if it gets the garrison. I believe it should, given the location.
Yep, garrison gone.
Garrison is gone, and look at cluster as well. Some good progress here for 82 AD.
Yeah, you'll want to see a supply spawn as soon as possible here on this next wave.
Jonas down there should drop a satchel. No, he's dead.
If you're commander, go ahead and just drop some supplies. Don't wait for the respawns.
We have a Panzer IV out here, kind of behind cluster.
I'm seeing spawns and nobody's coming in with supplies. I just don't understand.
Yeah, you gotta have your guys kind of recognize that. Here's another spawn on an OP with an AT, which obviously is important, but man, we need to get this garrison up.
Mm-hmm. As there's no garrison, these OPs are all pinging. There's 3 infantry OPs and a recon OP here. They're all of them are lit up that are on the hard cap.
Yeah, if I'm the Allies already right now, I'm gonna blast that house as much as I can because I know that's where they're gonna try to put that garrison.
Only support player in the area is still at that broken building backed up with the AP.
Yeah, is there still no garrison back on West Bend?
Nope.
Well, there's a support
We
player.
have our first support player.
And he puts the supplies down, and watch Artie just land right on top of it. Pretty
Oh,
close.
close.
So
I
close.
think it got it.
No, it didn't. I can still see the box. Oh,
That might have.
the box is gone. I don't know if the
Box is
garrison
gone.
went up,
Nope, it did not.
so that's unfortunate.
But
I
we
mean,
got
there's
a
an OP
medic
over here
flame.
that's not getting pounded by artillery. Looks like we have a 76 has moved up into the forest area here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a quick look at the Allies map. Oh, that's a Sherman. So there's a Sherman, there's a 76 further back by N30 Highway, and then obviously over at the hub, 176 still. Probably going to keep one there all game, just to prevent the Tigers from really getting aggressive. But they should be able to play around this house. The Tigers should be able to play around this house and not die to AT guns and the 76, at least in that position. You just got to use the elevation, right?
Yep, and the Tiger is teed up. It is looking at that 76 that is down in that little armor compound. But as all this is going on, the point starts to be contested. Still no garrison on West Bend for the Finns.
Yeah, I don't know.
That commander's got to be screaming by now, right? Do they drop supplies? I see Jonas's support. I don't know if he dropped his box
He's
somewhere.
Blast again, who dropped it before. He's still on support, even though he's got to be on cooldown. Oh, there is a box down again. Oh, the
Right,
garrison
boys,
is
come
up
on.
now. Okay, I see the garrison back in the same spot.
Garrison back up in the same spot.
It seems weird to kind of like follow that for as long as we did, but like, I mean, come on, like
That's
you
a
gotta
huge
get the garrison
deal.
up. You gotta get the
That's a
garrison
huge
up.
deal.
No excuse.
It is a win for Philolisa. They wasted the bombing run and made no progress.
This Sherman is starting to peek around the building. There's an AT gun. He found it and took it down. There's a Tiger lingering over there too. You kind of see him a little further back.
I think that's one of the things that I like so much about this game, Wix, is it's 49v49, yet we can look at little minute moments of 3 seconds between killing the AT guys on a gun versus the Tiger going down, little things like that throughout the match. It's an hour and a half, 49v49, yet we can look at these moments and see where games are truly won.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before. I mean, I think a lot of times, we talk sometimes on stream about checklists for like, hey, you got to do this, then you got to do this, then you got to do this. And there's some degree of that, right? But at the same time, like the timing has to line up too. That's kind of the X factor always, right? The garrison goes down. That's one of the things you need to cap the point, right? But if your infantry is not in position, or if your armor's not ready at that time, or if just the things have to align at the right time. And so the best you can do is keep the pressure on the maximum amount. Like 82 ADs right now, we're starting to see some cap progress. They're not comfortable on this point. So all they gotta wait for is the garrison to go down, a key arty shell to take out a spawn wave, and it's gonna unlock this point. But yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it comes with small things, and to me, like timing is huge as well, because it looks like, yeah, the garrison is still up there.
Got an assault
Got a
player from 82 AD up
Precision
there.
strike. Precision strike missed, and
on a P4.
it was on a Panzer IV anyway, so I'm not sure about that. Not sure about that use of resources there. I mean, there's a Tiger right here too, but I don't know that he's really kind of announced himself too much. He's kind of sitting back a little bit. Oh, but here comes the Stuka in response. Ooh, missed him moving 76 in the field. It did damage him.
It did damage him,
Looks
though.
like it even trapped him. So there's two 76s. We have a medium here and a Stewart, although I think the Stewart is abandoned, probably out of ammo. Or maybe just being saved for later. Is there a second Tiger up on the 82 AD
Yep.
side?
It's The Finns.
Sorry,
The
Finn side.
The third Tiger, which would be the second on the field, is coming out of the C2 grid square, and he's moving south.
Okay, so while we
82
see,
AD Dope is probably gonna see him or get seen by him.
Oh, 82
And
is
he's
in
like-
there.
they're flooding in now. The
82
garrison
is in
still
there.
up. The garrison's still up here, so we could see a big spawn wave pull it back. But 82 AD is in the kitchen. They got the 2 tanks that are kind of pushing up here, getting a little aggressive. Let's see if they find this garrison. I don't see. We'll see when the
That
garrison
is
spawn
not a
wave.
large spawn wave.
That was an OP though. I have yet to see them spawn on the garrison. There it is, 2 guys.
2? Wow. Wow.
1 squad leader. Maybe all the OPs are still up. I don't know, but that's surprising given that.
They get a
Two OPs
satchel
up
off?
in there.
Yeah, it looked like a satchel went off and cleared a lot of the 82 AD Swell Boy.
Ooh, that Artie.
Ooh, he's
That Artie.
close to the garrison.
He just wiped 1 OP on the
There's
point.
literally nobody
One
alive
left.
here now. 82 AD. Looks like they're gonna get this garrison.
Garrison
they
is
farming?
locked. Finns drop reinforce. But nobody in the point except for Sugar OP.
We got a 5-person spawn wave on the OP. I don't know if Rip knows the garrison's on the other side. Maybe he hears it, but he seems content to just lock it out, which is probably smart. Now he's gonna go for it. Is anybody watching? Nope, they're just gonna let him take it out. Villipo looked like he could have seen him, but garrison's down. There's still an OP here.
Yes, it seems like the callouts are just not there for Finns right now.
Yeah,
They're not communicating the way they need to.
in favor of 82 AD.
But right now we have 276s in the open field. The Tiger's engaging one of them, and the one.
Did the Tiger kill the first 76? Because the one that's alive took a shot from an AT gun, and I know the Tiger's looking at him right now. He's driving right at the Tiger. Oh. This is not the way. Siege, this is not the way. I think... Oh, he just got it off the cupola, I think. So that's not going to be a kill. But he is vulnerable if there's another AT gun, or a rocket, or anything. Sneeze on him, and I think the 76 goes down.
That Tiger can push.
Yeah, that Tiger is
He
pushing.
He could. He
Tiger is
should.
pushing south.
And
Let's
I
see
don't
how
wanna,
they-
I don't want to skip over the hard cap here because it looks like Finns have kind of recaptured the hard cap here. Pulled a lot of people off cluster, it looks like, and it looks like we could see a cap back here. I'm gonna try to get all of this. You can see the tank battle still going on.
Yeah, Finns have regained their positioning. Never lost cluster. They get a pretty good reset, get back to the hard cap.
This Tiger is still non-penning on the turret of the 76.
It's 82,
Is
82.
that a medium yeeting itself into the point?
Yes, the
It
medium
is.
is in full yeet.
Okay, they got 1 shot into the Tiger, and now who's Tiger?
Kind of look at Honey Badger following the tank here on one side and kind of looking at the big picture on the point. As Finns have responded, or sorry, 82 AD has responded a little bit here. We do see an airhead on the Finn side, it looks like, to reinforce this push. Go back to the one screen here too. 76 takes a non-pet rocket. We can see that in the background. There's a rocket shot from behind, or maybe an AT gun. Looks like there's there's an AT gun shooting on the side of the 76. But he may have just himself out of the view. I don't know.
Modema over here with rockets gets the 76 with a nice shot into the buttocks. And now this is looking really grim for 82AD, I'd say.
I know I keep harping on Artie here, but Finn's Artie is at 127, while 82's is at 64.
We are being asked to call the 82 AD artillery Frogtillery, as Froggers is
Oh, my
manning the
apologies.
gun.
Well, Frogtillery needs to pick it up.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, I think it's still going back and forth here. This is a great battle. That's kind of why I'm not moving off this point. I'm sorry if you want to see other parts of the map, but this is where the shit's happening. A lot of back and forth on this. You see the back and forth still going on. I mean, Finns have dedicated a lot of people to Hardpoint, but they're still holding Cluster and the kind of ancillary buildings around there. So the airhead did go down for Finns. Looks like it's stabilizing a little bit for 82.
82 AD are surviving purely by just winning gunfights in the hard cap right now, I think.
When this Tiger took out that 76, he should have pushed hard cap, forced the issue onto that medium. He missed a really big opportunity where he was the most powerful thing in like a 400 square meter area.
Yeah, those 82 AD 76s kind of threw a little bit, got a little bit over aggressive, but the infantry's
Bailing him
barely
out.
holding on, yeah.
Let's take a look at the map real quick. We do see a big spawn over there from Finns, but let's take a look at double maps here. HB. Because we kind of have settled down a little bit. I just want to look. So 82 AD has the garrison in the south part, a C5 there that's going to support West Bend. They don't have a garrison over on Cluster, but they do have a couple OPs. That's going to be an important area to hold too. 176 on the field back at the armor hub. We got the 75 still alive on the point, and just a Greyhound. That's it for their armor. And it looks like they're a couple minutes away from another 76 because they don't even have one staged right now. Unless there's one driving up I'm missing. What do you see on the Finn side? Alright, so we'll bring it back out of the main screen here. A Tiger went down during all of that at some point, right? Did the 76s take it out, or did we not see what happened to that?
No, they've only lost one Tiger.
I mean, we're at 54 minutes. They should have more than... I lost the one, and then there's two up. They should have more than that at this point.
Yeah. One dead here. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Man, if the Finns could get another satchel in that house, that would be massive.
The tank, I think, too.
Are they
you gotta
killing
get
them?
the tank down somehow.
Are they killing their own teammates? What? They look like a tank shot that hit the side of the house and killed them.
It is.
Yeah,
The
that's a
tank
shot
is
from
shelling.
that's back Tiger is coming off that house. Could be doing
Here
more
goes
harm
the
than good if
engineer
he's
for
not.
the
Yes,
satchel.
that was definitely a Finn's tank that just hit right there. I can tell you that for sure. I mean, sometimes when you're back so far, it's hard to tell the depth, right? So you think you're hitting a building that's way past these guys in this wood right here, but you know, he's splashing the wall and killing them on accident. Kind of peek at the top part. One of who's the the hard point, but look at cluster. 82 AD has almost completely locked them out of cluster at this point.
And
Yeah,
this Tiger, that's front door West Bend, just got pretty much decrewed. It's just a gunner by himself. TC got out, got killed trying to repair. Driver got out trying to repair.
What damaged that?
I think it was an AT gun.
Kind of want to look over here because we do see that cluster is completely free of Finns let loose right now.
Yeah, they've pushed them all the way back into the E4. They got a garrison up in Foy, but it was just locked, so they're pushing them all the way into the city of Foy. And if 82 AD can get a hold of the city of Foy itself, Cobra should be relatively easy to take.
Yeah, so I think, and Panda or Scooty can correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, the big thing with, I think, cluster here is, one, cluster's in the soft cap, but it also means that, you know, you get these crossfires. You know, if they get up here, I mean, you can imagine the strength of a tank being back here, right? With all this cover, being able to kind of shoot into the back of Finns. It doesn't look like maybe they're taking full advantage of this yet, but they certainly could be. You know, with time, you know, moving some tanks, maybe some more than just one MG. This was a big battlefield for a whole part of the opening, you know, 30 minutes of the match, and now we just see a couple guys here left.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, we talk about this with almost every map that we're on. You know, there's always, okay, yeah, sure, here's where the point is, but there's always going to be some piece of the map that you have to own to be able to take ground, to be able to have these kind of side shots on different points. And cluster is that spot right now for West Bend. I mean, you have to own this if you want to own the caps. What you're going to see here is you'll see the MG start to set up. You'll see the tanks get more aggressive. You'll see AAT guns going up. You'll see new angles that 82 hasn't had all game. That Finns hasn't had to defend all game. Now that they've lost this ground, they're going to have to look both ways, and with Artie in your face, with tanks in your face, and huge open spots where, you know, if you're playing on this map, if anybody has ever played on this map, you know that when you look up and you start looking around in your 180 view, trying to figure out, you know, where you're getting shot from, it can be anywhere, man. So, you know, it's going to be hell for these boys trying to get back in. You know, that's one of the things that we talked about when this started. If Axis ever gets pushed out, they don't have a forest the way Allies does. There's no cover for them to use. If I'm Finns right here, I'm going to be throwing smokes as much as I can. I'm going to be trying to ask Artie to hold that front door for me to try to allow us to get in here. It's going to get pretty desperate if they don't make something happen soon.
Yeah, cluster is a very important. Sorry, Wix. It's a very real quick, a very important both attacking and defending position. It's 82 AD's way into the city of Foy and then into Cobra Factory. It provides those crossfires. You can already see Star-Lord was over there with the MG, just, you know, firing onto all of this stuff that they're trying to do north of Hardcap. Finns let loose. So now that they've lost, Finn let loose has lost that positioning on both the hard cap and at cluster, it's going to be a very, very difficult game. They have to play the waiting game and just stack armor and hope they can get some kind of armor push.
Yeah, I was just coming over here to kind of look at the view. This garrison is being camped basically by frogtillery here. That's why you see nobody using it looks like. But there was a big spawn wave of Finns right here, and I kind of wanted to get kind of the view of what Panda was talking about, which is where are you getting shot from? And you look all from the forest back there, the house on West Bend, right? They're starting to push down the road. You can cluster there. That you can see through the trees, and it starts to be like a huge area of the horizon where you're kind of getting wrapped around because you lost that flank, right? And it looks like, well, it looks like they've kind of mixed up now, where we see some 82 AD players still in Foy, but at the same time a squad of Finns that contest, cluster there and not really give that up for free.
Yeah, you know, and this is where if you're these Finns boys here in the cluster, you have to make a decision. Are we gonna try to hold this, or are we gonna split up and try to back cap because we know that there's some 82 guys north of us. You know, you can only do so much with a squad of 6. So I'll be curious to see how they play this.
For the Axis west bend attack as well, now that they have been pushed back, they do have the option for the sort of sneaky whammo flank back into that forest if they have anybody. I don't know if that they have anybody working towards that, but if they manage to get into C6 with undetected, there's definitely a possibility to get some backdoor spawns in. It's pretty tough to get over there, but you know, if they wrap back towards HQ and get all the way in there, 82 AD might not be ready for that backdoor attack.
Yeah, what Wix, can we see what 82's Gary network is now that they kind of have solidified this point?
Yeah, I think the change from when we looked at it before was they did get this cluster garrison up, and I think the key here too is that they built it below this line so they could fit this one up here too as well, right on the red-blue border. This is looking about as good as you can get it from my perspective at least. And I mean, you even got OPs here covering the field too, so this is really like a good front
Yeah.
they got set up.
Yeah, for Finns right now, they really have 2 options for attacking. You gotta get armor superiority and mass tanks on the front line, and the infantry is really just sitting around building AT guns, holding that space, and trying to get more heavies than the other. Or they try to get, the other option would be just trying to get that sneaky backdoor garrison, which is going to be really, really difficult on this map, but if they ever did manage to get an SL back there, they could sneak in a few spawns.
You see too by looking at the kill count here, already has really slowed down now that that point has been decided.
So we have an engagement between a 76 and that Tiger map edge. HB, you able to find that Tiger in like C3?
Yeah, I'm right behind him, and
Right, this is Siege and Norkpick and Luca trying to look through the trees. They do have a tank support engineer on the back, ready to repair. '76 moving forward a little bit, trying to open up a line. I don't know that there's anything. Was that a hit? Yeah, track shot. I was gonna say, I don't think there's anything that's stopping them from seeing it. It's just the trees and whether or not you're able to thread it through there. Although Tiger keeps moving back, that's gonna make it tougher and tougher.
they
So
did
obviously the
stop.
TC moved out right to get a different angle to try to get a good mark on that tank. Is that something that you're okay with him doing? Do you feel like that was the wrong move? I mean, obviously it didn't turn out well for him, but
I'm not a giant fan of those moves personally. It's a high risk for a medium reward. Does that make sense?
yeah, definitely.
I don't know. Wix might have a different view of it, but that's just kind of
It's very situational, right? Like, there's times where it makes sense. There's times where it doesn't. I mean, I don't know if he died or if he ran back to his tank because he's not in that position anymore. But, I mean, I'm thinking on a map like Foy, like, sure, you know, it'd be nice to get up on top of a building next to your tank and see even further and see around it. But you got to think on Foy, man, your likelihood of dying to a machine gun or a sniper or something is going to be extremely high, you know, relatively, and then kind of leaving your tank in a pretty vulnerable spot.
Pretty obvious here to say I don't tank very often, but surely you can see further from being inside the tank than using your binos, right? Or is it the same?
Binos are better than the spotter scope.
Ah, okay.
It's not hugely, though.
Yeah.
It is pretty close. I mean, like, yeah, there's times where it makes sense. but on a map like Foy, I mean, you got to just be careful and make sure you don't die, because obviously that's, I mean, news. This might be, you know, kind of an advanced theory or an advanced tactic, but dying is bad, so you don't want to die. As a tank commander, especially. Like, as infantry, fine, you respawn whenever, but you know, generally dying is bad, and that's true of real life if you think about it. Real life dying also not bad or not good.
I would like to say that the current player with the most deaths to RD is 82 AD's Gel Man with 19.
It is a man after your own heart right there. And
Hey, he hates his life, and I know the feeling.
back to the game, it looks like 82 AD has really taken control even of the north side of the sector, where that garrison was in the trench. Fins have been pushed out. 82 AD Dan is already chilling in that trench. Now it's just big open fields, and I see one tiger on the field. Second one in spawn.
Yeah, we haven't seen a ton. I don't know what's happening to these tigers, honestly. I feel like they're losing them and we're not seeing them. So, AT guns, maybe tanks. We've been kind of watching the infantry battle here a lot, I know, but try to catch some of these tanks. Looks like we got some Bob the Builder activities going on. Sir Lucky here. Oftentimes on artillery for 82 AD, but giving it up to Froggers today so we can build some barbed wire around the house here.
82 AD has done a good job of being able to push and let loose off the hard cap. This is the difference between what they're able to do and what Finland was unable to do when they controlled the hard cap, was to push back and get a little bit of a buffer zone away from that, take that space away from the hard cap. Finns are getting pushed back all the way almost to factory at this point.
Yeah, let's take a look. Let's do a double map view here. We haven't done that in a minute. I know I pulled mine up a couple times, but yeah, we can kind of see the Cobra Factory, even a little cap progress on Cobra Factory, mostly from sector pressure, but we still see the blue kind of infiltrating, you know, that C34, D34 area, as well as the town of Foy over to the east, as we're starting to see, yeah, like Scooty said, the progress after the cap that Finn's never really got. What do you see on your side?
Line of sight of that 76 south, avoid pinging any Garys on the way in.
But he does have a recon tank that is a 3-man in the back line trying to get some things done. You know, it's a little uneasy to see a 3-man recon tank. You know, tanks aren't doing too well if you see that.
See, the mistake that Love Squad is making right now is he's going to cluster instead of, he needs to actually run through the open fields, which seems a little counterintuitive. But 82 AD might not be watching it. Now he's dead. Going to cluster isn't going to do anything.
No, like you said, he has to get in that C6 area.
Yeah, there's a sweet spot down there where he could get a Gary without pinging any garrisons, like right at the bottom of whatever C6 it is.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see and look at, you know, cluster and even West Bend really now, right? Like the site of the bulk of the conflict for the first half hour is now completely dead, as it's moved on to the fields just outside Cobra Factory and the town of Foy itself. The front line has kind of moved on in a big way here, and the Finns are, I don't know if they're struggling right now to hold on, but they're getting pushed back. It's not, it has not been going in their favor lately.
Yeah, their only hope right now for recapping mid is getting that sneaky garrison up.
Precision strike.
the 76 on ruins.
Ooh, that was close. Where did that hit? Right next to him. Stuka sucks. Just so everybody knows.
It does.
Stuka fucking
Bro,
sucks.
I would be losing my mind right now.
Yeah, it didn't take out the rep stations either, did it?
No, it did not. Hit on
Oh
the wrong
my
side.
gosh.
Like, what? That's the thing that gets me sometimes. Not to go off on the game, too much, but it's like, it didn't used to be like that with the Stuka. It didn't. And there was no update that they told us about where stuff was getting nerfed or anything was getting changed. But it right? And
Just one day, the Stuka just Peace Strikes just sucked.
Yeah, and like it's been the same way with Satchel. To be able to, kill a heavy tank with a satchel on the ground like 12, 15 meters away. Now it's like you can put it on the ground right next to it and it's going to do nothing but trap damage. That's the kind of stuff I don't understand. Like, either they're changing these things and not, announcing it or not explaining it, or just things change and nobody knows why. I don't know how to make video games, but it seems like it shouldn't be like that.
We do
Well, I
have an
think-
engagement here between the Tiger, and it does look like an AT gun's trying to shoot it. No, it is the 76.
Yep, I'm on the 76. What blew up there? It wasn't a Tiger, it looks like.
No, Tiger's repairing right now. He is lost in the sauce right now.
There's still something shooting at this 76, but it's hitting the hay bale that probably isn't rendering. .76 is coming back for a peek.
This is actually a really hard spot and shot for this tank crew, because he's got all the trees are rendering in for him, and he's got to deal with getting suppressed.
Got to give it to Finn's Kiki right now, or Kike, who's on a 23 death streak in that meat grind.
Oh my god.
It is rough. If you play Foy, you'd much rather be in a tank.
That's on the 82 AD side?
No, that's Finn's let loose. Kiki. He's front door from last I saw.
Tigers all repped up. Looks like they're gonna try to get an AT gun up on their own for the Finns, but just like that, one shot and it's deleted.
76 still here.
Peace strike
still
coming in,
Got him.
and nope, missed.
Oh, I thought. Okay.
But he did back up into this view of the 76. If he's paying attention, he might get a shot on him before he goes, but he misses. Hits the fence in front of the Tiger, and now the Tiger's back in cover. And they are praying to the gods.
There's a couple 76s here that looks like they're trying to get shots on that Tiger. There's even a medium up here.
Ooh,
We got him.
Was that the medium that got him?
No, it was the heavy shooting right over the top of him. Technopat, joystick, and half Dan.
Yeah, it's not looking good right now for Fins.
Yeah, I mean, you can see how concentrated they are on Cobra Factory. That's not really a good sign. I mean, it's good that they're there to defend it, but you really don't want to see so many people in one area.
I think they're only past a victory right now because it's clear that gaining armor superiority doesn't look like it's probably going to happen. They need to kind of do what they're doing in Turtle on Cobra Factory and pray that that Whammo guy is able to get behind Westbend.
Do they have someone? I'm not gonna pull it up, but is there somebody trying to make their way around behind HB?
Yes, that Love Squad Abaso is still trying to get around.
The problem is that they're not directing
Where is he?
where
right
they're
now?
going well.
Behind the 76 that's rolling up into cluster.
Oh, I see him.
Yeah, this is not the way to execute this. Like, going into cluster is not going to help them. SL needs to get, over here near Kenderick.
Derek is an 82 AD recruit. Today I learned.
I think you'll see a lot of team switching now that seasonal is coming to an end.
Tale as old as time.
Roster mania. And yeah, now all of Abaso's infantry are chasing the 76 AT, the satchel engineer. And he, like you said, he's in cluster, but we are getting cap progress in West Bend because of this.
Yeah, this is just. This is a
There's
fake
nobody
cap,
from
though.
82 AD in the cap. That's why.
Yep.
I'm harping on Love Squad a little bit here, but this is the role I've been playing lately. Getting cluster, gaining ground in cluster with one squad is not going to help them. Their whole team is pushed back into Kobu Factory hard cap, basically. So even if they get one SL here, maybe even manage to get a Gary, they're just going to get eventually flanked and wiped out.
Yeah, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you're playing this position, Scoot, you don't want a full squad with you running
No,
around.
I would be yelling at the infantry to redeploy and get off my OP right now.
And during all this, we missed the last Tiger on the map going down. The only tank left on Cobra Factory is a Lux that is solo.
Well, the Lux could have 3, 4, 5 people in it. It's still a piece of shit tank that's useless.
This late in the game, kind of, guess.
It's still 30 minutes. Like, Finland Loose could, you know, theoretically make some progress and gain ground, but it just hasn't seemed like they're able to do that with their armor or infantry gunfights.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see them kind of pushing directly back through Foy, through all these fields without armor, and they don't have armor. So really,
Yeah.
they gotta just kind of hold on to what they have, and like we've kind of talked about, you gotta get that ammo out there. But he doesn't seem, you know, he seems to be prioritizing other things. Like here, well, this is a 82 AD supply drop, but
Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about. See, he's gotten over to cluster, but he's surrounded, and they're aware that he's there. Right?
yeah.
If he wants to get an attack going, he needs to get a Gary to get at least like 2-3 more SLs in, and it has to be undetected.
Yeah, I mean, his squad of 5 just created a scramble for 82 to back clear their lines.
How did an 82 AD MG make it into the factory? She's like one of the first ones.
Yep. Nope. They've been streaming into the factory pretty well. Elf got in there. Sun Tzu's been in there for a while.
Do they have a close OP? Does 82 AD have a close OP on factory? They have a couple, it looks like. No?
Not really.
But they have
do
two
have
tanks.
376s and a 75. It's better than our OP.
Obviously, they've got a cheeky angle in there because he's just taking down 3 guys.
Oh,
Oh, and then look at that Artie. Oh my
Oh, man.
gosh.
For artillery coming in clutch. The MG inside goes down. Hage.
That was a 15-person kill right there. He went
For
from
artillery, probably just
145 to 160.
Is that what that was?
Yep.
clutch the hard cap there. Yeah, they have it.
And
Oh, looks
back
like
the other way
it's
with
coming
a-
back.
with an
Maybe a
OP spawn.
reinforce dropped. We saw an OP spawn wave.
There are one
Factory's
OP,
cleared out now.
Yeah, they lost
one
factory.
OP, two more SLs, one more SL.
Tank's got to be blasting that building, man.
Oh, where's the Artie?
Oh, there it is
Oh,
again!
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
I'll let you know in a second what that was.
For artillery is farming right now.
That was 10 guys down to that shot.
25 kills in about 40 seconds.
All right, well, I don't think he's going to be moving off of that spot for a little while.
And now the 76s are set up. They can just start slamming this point. Still no Tigers up. 580 fueled.
Oh my god, the
my-
timing! The timing! They spawned in just in time to fucking die. But
That was 12. So just so you know, for most of this game, Frogtillery has been almost 100 kills behind the Finns let loose. He is now within 26.
Looks like Siege is going to try to end his fun here if he can. If he hasn't already, because Tanks looks like he's moving up for the Garrison. I think the Garrison's down. I don't see it anymore.
Garrison is gone.
And
So
that'll
that's
be the
gonna
cap.
Yep. No spawns in the Cobra sector left.
It kind of shows what you can do. The artillery obviously got good information on the Garrison location. They didn't really even have that many people in the hard cap, the Finns. Or, sorry, 82. But they just had so much soft cap, and the Finns couldn't stay alive in the hard cap. And obviously the tanks, too, right? Like, it just... That's kind of the formula for points here, right? You get tanks, you get artillery.
Yeah, I mean,
He goes down. That's unfortunate because this tank is probably sitting in the spot it spawned in, so they took that risk pretty damn close to where it spawns. The Tiger just spawned and came out of nowhere and picked up a 76 on 82 AD side. You got to be ready for it. I mean, it's not to say that it's impossible to avoid, but that's tough when you get back here and Tigers just spring up out of the ether like that.
HU, yep. Always gotta have someone looking at that west one. It's such a risky play for the Axis though, but if they get it off and no one's looking, it's a free tank kill.
Yeah, we got to. Yeah, exactly. Let's we just had a point cap. Let's pull up a double map.
Ooh,
So-
the C2 Garrison already locked and gone.
Yep, and there is a F3 Garrison for 82 AD right on the front door. Map froze a little bit. They did get the Garrison up on Cobru, so there's some people pushing northwest from Cobru, and then we're going to see this F3 Garrison probably with a bunch of spawns on it.
Yeah,
People start pushing
all
Cobru
those
approach.
OPs are starting to, they're lighting up like a Christmas tree. The Garrison is locked. Let's get out of our maps, Wix. Let's go over to Cobra because this game might end right here.
Yeah, we just saw a big spawn wave on that Garrison. Finns still have a presence here, but they got to keep that Garrison up. I see Dan playing the hero, running around burning spawns in the middle of the point. Goes down to Jaunty here.
Yep, Garrison is gone. 3 OPs remain.
Finn let loose's problem is that once 82 AD controls that little barn between the Gary and the point that they have, it's going to be a pretty easy push onto the Cobra hard cap. They already have OPs there.
Yeah. And we should see maybe a 76 trying to move into this area too. It looks like there's one back here. Probably looking at that Tiger and left spawn that is damaged. But if they can get a tank over here, that could be the difference.
Mallard over there flanking maybe can save the day. He can take out that launch Gary.
He's close. Oh boy. Lay down. Hide.
Oh, do not fight that out.
Just a little dirt now.
Did he get his OP up at least?
He did not.
Oh no.
Froggers is wondering what he should do now. He's, of course, Artie. If you're not familiar with the rules, we never really talked about it. It's seasonal rules, so that's why you've seen Tigers, not Panthers. One person protected on Artie on each side. So Froggers is a designated Artie player, which means that he can do nothing but play Artie. And so when the enemy is outside of the range of artillery, he can just sit there and look at his map. Maybe make a coffee. Do a crossword, whatever he wants, really. But he can't do anything else besides... He can't like, take a different role, right? Yeah.
Well, I think that kind of goes both ways a little bit because you can only hit so close to your own arty gun too for Fins. He won't be able to arty the spots that he wants to.
Yeah, I think you can shoot pretty close with Artie, so you should be able to like hit if they know this garrison's here, which they should, because the squad leader that ran up on him, he should be able to hit that with Artie. And it looks like actually this is where he's hitting right on the side of this barn here. So the shells are just going very high up and coming straight down, I guess. .22.5 minutes left here. I mean, the 82 AD, maybe they hoped to get onto Cobra approach quickly here. There's a bombing run to take care of that garrison. But the quick cap didn't happen, and there is a big Finnish presence on there now. Let's kind of look at what's going on elsewhere. This Tiger is he's castled in here.
He rolls out. You know, it's nice he doesn't have to ask anyone for rep station or ammo. He just rolls forward, gets shot, rolls back. Very efficient preparing with this position right now, Wix.
Yeah, not a bad spot to be. Obviously not where you want to be if you're tanking, but it's a truck exploding. Just trying to look at what he might be shooting at here.
There is a 76 moving around in the north side of Cobra.
A factory?
Yeah, northwest.
We got double Cobra right now, so we should call it a factory and approach because they're both Cobra.
Factory, west. Hard west of
I
factory.
see him, the one with the Sir Lucky on the back here.
Yeah.
Looks like he's trying to get a Tiger. So is there no Finnish spawn here on this side? Are they resorting to just the HQ spawn?
They have garrisons in Cobra approach. They have a whammo out in H2 and a whammo out in H4.
They were wiped out of that C column pretty quickly.
Yeah. They have no approach on that western side. It's all HQ spawns.
I'm gonna take a peek at the map. Yeah, that F3 area where we saw they had the garrison, they were pushing to the barn. That's been completely cleared out. That bombing run took all that pressure off right there. So 82 ADs in the north side of Foy and basically in that northwest of road going out of Cobra factory along those woods.
I'm impressed. Love is still back here. You know, maybe he'll be able to. They've got one red zone garrison. Maybe they'll be able to get a second somewhere where they can start making some hay.
That's a Basso here, Love Squad for the Finns.
He needs to avoid a Gary right now. He pings a Gary, he's gonna get taken out. He's pinging one.
I have bad news. He is pinging a garrison. So that's probably what Slavic maybe is looking for, but he's running away. What do we got?
So
there?
Scooty, if you're in that position and you see a garrison, you know you're already pinging it. Do you take it out? Do you run in the opposite direction?
I run away. Yeah, like if you take that out, they're gonna come rebuild it, and yeah, he's dead. You wanna just avoid the spawns, and you wanna get your spawn up.
At a certain point, you got to start taking them down, though, right? But you got to do it kind of at the right time, I think, right?
You should really only be taking it out when it's, beneficial, right? So like once you have a Gary up, for example, and you know you're aware of the spawns, and you can get some people in and take it out, and then make some progress. But just taking them out for the sake of taking them out, you're just gonna get killed and reset. They're gonna rebuild the Gary, no problem. So like knowing where they are and like kind of marking it would be really useful. Going up to it right there, yeah, he's dead with no OP, so.
Come back over here by Cobra Approach, where since we last saw that bombing run took out the garrison, and then the Finns have kind of taken control around us. So this looks pretty secure for the time being. But that doesn't mean they're very close to capping Cobra Factory. Let's do a double map check. I looked at the map a little bit, but let's do a double here. Because I want to look at kind of the tank situation again. I see 276s for, three 4 76s for 82 AD right now. Really spread out across the map. It looks like one's starting to push Cobra for approach. One's at Cobra Factory, one's northwest. So they have 4 76s up. So plenty of armor. I think one of them's trying to kind of fish that Tiger out of left HQ. There's also a recon up on the flank too. So a lot of people in armor for 82 AD. They're kind of massing on the north side of Foy for a push on approach. What do you see on your side, HP? Honey Badger?
I was muted, sorry. And I was talking. That was totally my bad. We have almost no infantry presence on the west side. Just 2 OBs trying to still push out of their HQ. That the Tiger in the left HQ still trying to fight for his life. The only thing added recently is a Tiger in center HQ, but he's still in HQ all the way by the artillery guns. It looks like he's playing behind the artillery player too. Kind of a move to say.
Oh yeah, we actually did see that a little bit in GBI ESPT on Omaha, where there was a tank that was stationed near the artillery.
It's quite literally right behind the artillery
Yeah,
player.
I'm looking at it right now. So if I don't remember when I joined the server if the HLU log, if that arty player ends up getting killed to AD, it would
And
kill.
yeah. Oh my, and we're getting close.
It will
It is.
Technically,
10 people 82 AD as a punishment, but he is backing away.
against seasonal rules for him to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Non-pens off the front of the Tiger. Or sorry, ricochets.
Backing into a tree, so he's not going to be able to go back any further now.
Oh no, he's opening up the angle for the 76.
I don't think they're as safe as they think they are right there, right?
This is 76
Nope.
is shooting at it. I don't even see it.
It's the tank by the artillery.
No, it's 76. Oh, it's the one over here.
Ooh.
It's a different one shooting it. Looks like farther to the west somewhere.
I'll find it, guys. Just give me a second.
Second
Might
turret
be
shot.
An AT gun?
No, it was the one at Cobra Factory. He just backed up, though. Wait, no. It's not. I don't know what the hell is
Third
shooting this
turret.
damn thing.
It
Might have been an
is.
AT gun.
Nope, it was a 76. This 76 in the middle of the field by
Yeah, I was up
Westman.
far. It was back further.
Uh,
Right here. My bad. Terrible
And the
camera.
sightlines on this map. The sightlines on this map for tanks are incredible.
Yeah.
And you gotta know them all, else you're gonna die
Yeah.
a lot.
So there you go. You can see the arty guns. That's that right there. That's right where. Finally found them. A little bit too late to be of any cinematic value, but there you go.
that's a crazy shot.
Just really not much you can do for the tanks. I mean, they already got the one over here. You could put another Tiger over here, I guess, if you wanted. But I don't know how much good that's going to do. It's the only spawn with any real cover for them.
And let loose, kind of massing on the western side of the map, making some progress.
Oh yeah, they've reshifted almost every. They got wiped in the east with that Greyhound, or the Greyhound push. Killed the garrison, and they kind of shifted everyone back west.
So Kiki ended up with a 34 death streak on the front door there.
Goodness.
That is brutal.
Ironclad mental.
There he is. We can see him. He's a squad leader. Right here in the... See, he does appear to have firearm.
Yeah, but small arms does nothing against tanks, and Artillery.
I know, but I mean it was a streak.
Yeah.
30, I'm not trying to drag Kiki. It's a tough beat to be a squad leader in infantry. Boy, that's not what I'm trying to say, but
That's tough. But as a meat grinder, I feel the pain.
Yeah, you measure the success there by how much sanity he's able to retain while going through that.
Does he sign up again next week?
Wix, can you snap or find an 82 guy named Tivrox? TIV? I'm curious where this guy is playing. He's got 93 kills right now as infantry, and he's doing very well.
right now he's a rifleman on a roof here.
He's got
Where are
90
we?
kills with the M1 Grand.
You want to give him
Looks like he's been eating his carrots.
Hey, he's just standing on a roof here, shooting long range.
He's just doing pot shots.
I guess.
Uh-oh. This tiger is getting shot. And that is in HQ.
There he is.
The one in left HQ?
Yeah.
Trying to see. Probably this one at factory.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. It could be the one. Is that one in Foy? No,
There's a
it's a
medium
solo.
boy.
Yeah, that's not it.
See some progress here from Finns coming up through the woods here towards Cobra Factory.
Froctillery's gonna have some action again.
Yeah, he should be active back on the gun there. Looks like he's pinging for distance over here to try to figure out where to be shooting. It's not really the right angle, but distance-wise, it's okay.
Yeah, the artillery kills have really slowed drastically. I think for artillery has gotten maybe 6 kills in the last 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, I think once factory went down, everything got a little bit more spread out. Ooh, who's bombing? Got a couple.
Well, that was pretty effective, I have to say.
Yeah,
I mean,
got
it doesn't
a
take out
few.
outposts, but the spawn waves should come back pretty quick here.
But look, they're following it up, right? So you have not just the bombing run clearing people out, but some people taking the opportunity to try to move up. And, okay, as soon as everybody spawned back, they all died, but they were trying.
Finns did a good job reestablishing, yeah.
Dan might get this OP though.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh,
on,
Dan's
guys.
clutching it.
Guys.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
Dan and Jort aid.
And it looks like they're in front door.
Wow.
Wix, if you want to go over to Cobra Approach, they have punched in front door. They have punched around with the 76.
Wow, we got a 76 right up in the kitchen. No garrison over here for 82,
Nope,
but
the
there's a couple
76
apiece.
just sniped the garrison.
So that's Gary
with
down
that
on the
shot.
last point. Wow. That's going to lock the... They have the HQ locked. Are there any OPs left? I see a spotter and an MG and a couple loose guys running in.
The artillery player just ran over and built a garrison. Right next to his guns.
Wait a second. That's illegal.
That's not allowed.
Penta, you bad boy.
But what
Might
are
be
the
too
spawns
little
look?
too late.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what the spawn wave looks like when it comes in a few seconds here. Yeah, it is thick. Here's a Finn's bombing run to try and take clear out the hard cap, try to make it a cap game, which it's successful at.
Oh my god! But if these guys, one MG,
They're just shift
sees
Wing so hard.
one MG is all it takes right now.
So the 82 AD didn't really have any spawn super close, so that they might actually, Finns might actually be able to hold on to this.
Through an illegal move. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't appear
Whatever.
to be changing the outcome of the game. It's going to extend it a few minutes, and it is a friendly, so it's not. I mean, it's just going to be something between the two teams. They got to say, "Hey, what's going on here?"
WTF, mate?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the best Finnish accent I've heard.
I try.
Yeah, Finland's the place with all the kangaroos, right?
Yeah, the Foster's shrimp on the.
Outback Steakhouse.
You want to go to Outback Steakhouse for that Finnish food? Got a 76 kind of just casually driving right into the view of a tiger, just casually shoots a dead tank instead of the live one. And is that going to cost him? And now he shoots a fence.
And
Takes
that's
one in the
gonna cost.
turret. Shot back in the turret. Precision strike kills him anyway. And the guys at the tank are like, WTF, mate? Because I think that's a English accent. E2AD is kind of like pan-European, mostly British, I believe, though. Anyway, hell let loose. Finn's streaming into the point. Looks like they've taken the hard cap back. Not a whole lot of 82 AD around here. Like I said, there was never a garrison in this area of late, but there are some tanks and one OP, so we'll see which one counts for more.
Oh, they're letting a recon guy get in there.
Now they got 276 bracketing Cobra approach.
Dope Pope. Obviously referring to Pope John Paul II.
The dopest of all the popes.
I'm sorry, but that's just facts right there. Let's take a swing back over here by Factory. Looks like we got a little Luke's. And not much else happening. I mean, they're basically boxed into the HQ. We have like a coordinated spawn camp operation over here. No more Tiger, just the Luke's. I don't even know what he's doing. He's cruising.
Peace strike coming in on the 76. Joystick. Doesn't kill the injured tank, but this satchel on it will be taking it down. The other 76 is driving near it. Will this...
2 for 1
Oh, this
special.
could be beautiful.
Ooh.
Probably did damage him, although he took a rocket too, so... I mean, that's game at this point, right? Finns don't have enough time to cap both points. 82 dropping the airhead at the last point. We'll see if this has been called out. There is time for them to 5-0 still. I don't know that I like their odds. It looks like the grenade's going on the airhead.
Yeah,
Actually,
there's
not
this-
bad positioning. People always put the airheads too close to the walls or buildings, then it gets locked out. That was far enough away to not be locked. But the grenades.
Grenade didn't, I mean, it wasn't a spawn anyway with them nading it like that. But I mean, so outcome secure. At this point, it's going to be a win for 82 AD, which I think if we were to have guessed before the match, I think that's kind of what you'd expect at 82 AD is a team that made a pretty deep seasonal run. This last season, they've been a pretty strong team. Finns let loose. They were in seasonal. They've won some games in seasonal, but I don't think quite as strong as 82 AD. But I'll say they did get 5-0. It looks like that's going to be the result, and they put up a strong fight here on Foy on a real brutal map and a point combination that for them was going to be really tough. I think we just watched VNT knife a machine gunner. Once they lost West Bend, it was tough, but they stayed in there. They didn't give up. They were fighting hard till the end, and big credit to them for that. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean they did what we expected them to do, right? As Axis, having Westbend, you expect them to cap first. They did. They held for quite a while. They lost some of their crucial tank battles, and were never able to really box 82 out. They just let them, kind of keep that rubber band flow that I talk about. Keep pushing in, then get wiped, pushing, get wiped, and eventually, law of probability, you do that enough without showing that you're going to be able to fend them off. 82 made it in there, wiped some spawns, got the garrison down, and it was pretty much over from there. 82 kind of, once they get West Bend, they don't have to put nearly as many people there, right? Because they're not trying to take it anymore. So they flexed a lot of their guys out. At one point they had nobody even in the sector, and they just kept pushing their will, through the Foy town, made it to the factory, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah, Finland Loose played positionally very well when they controlled the mid-cap. They controlled cluster pretty much the whole time that they had West Bend. Did okay job, like Panda was saying, kind of pushing back and forth through the trees. It seemed like eventually the gunfights didn't go their way, the armor battle didn't go their way, and they just couldn't hold on. It positionally played very well.
HB, any closing remarks?
No, I think everyone's kind of hit on everything. Allies seem to get the better hand and across the board on all the tanks. And that kind of puts you at a very big detriment in any game on Foy. So
I think I would have liked to see some more AAT guns from Finns let loose, especially as they started losing a lot of the tank battles. I'm sure they built some, but it seemed like at some point they just kind of gave up on it, and just kind of let the 82 tanks kind of roam.
So there you go, a 4-1 win for 82 AD. Allies on Foy Night over Finns let loose. While we're looking at the stats here, Panda, go through the top killers and what were the RD numbers on this? I think some people don't even
Final
know.
RD numbers for Finn, for Pinty with 268, for Artillery 193. And then Tivrox, who I harped on earlier, who was around 90 kills towards the end of the match, ended with 112. Then you've got a couple Finns guys here. You got Boba and Finn. Boba with 98, Finn with 87. Then the rest is pretty much 82 from there, 84, 83, 90, 79, 79. Those for VNT, Nork, Prick, Dan, and Alf. From there, it's mostly 82 guys with some Finns kind of thrown in the middle.
Yeah, so we'll look at the stats for those that are left. See one tank crew here, 2,400 combined for Finns. I know when we looked, I don't know if they're still here, but yeah, Siege's crew was huge. They ended up over 5,000. And the other one's 22, and this one around the same, 2,200 in terms of tanks. And then, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what you expect to see on Foy. A lot of opportunities for tanks and artillery to do well, and machine guns also. So there you go. So I'm going to bring this over onto our final page here. 82 AD wins 4-1 on Foy. Just a friendly match, but good to keep keep in practice there, guys. So Panda, Honey Badger, Scooty Deer, thanks for joining me, guys. It was a pleasure. And that was a good match. I'm glad. I'm glad it went 90 minutes. We got to see all of it. Everybody got their money's worth. And there you go. So we're gonna call it there. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and the rest of your weekend.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how.